Still, there is a way to get to this capability by way of an array formula. And this is one of the stranger array formulas, and yet, I don't mean strange in the sense that you'll never use it. I think you might use it a lot. I know I have, and I remember when I first started using this, I did not understand how it worked, but I knew that it worked. And so let's go on down that same path and set up the situation where you need to know this. This set of data here is quite a few rows in the hundreds, and you see that it's sorted by department. Question just comes up, how many different departments do we have here? In other words, how many unique entries do we see over there in column B? Well, here's the formula, and then we'll backtrack and give you some explanation of it. Equal sum, and this will be an array formula, left parenthesis, 1 slash, left parenthesis, countif, left parenthesis. Do not use column references here, use the actual cells. Now, you don't necessarily have to drag through them. If you know that this goes down so many cells, maybe in this case I'll forget how many I've had on purpose here and just drag through them. Next time I'll remember maybe. So how many cells do we have here? Okay, 687. Comma. And rather than dragging again, I'll just copy this all over again. And put it there. And make our parentheses match up. And this is an array formula. Control, Shift, Enter. There are 24 unique entries in the data from B2 down to B687. And that's great. And now, do you need to explain this to somebody else? Maybe you don't. You're happy. You move on. Something has caught my eye, and perhaps yours too. In column B, if you're looking at the admin trainings, down in row 21, looks like someone forgot a space down here. So the 24 entries there is probably off. Let's readjust this one. Put in a space there to make it match up with the others. Could have copied the other one. Now it's down to 23. But looking at this, how would you ever reach the conclusion this is the way to go? Let me give you a little bit of background on this. Simple little example here. Here's some entries. You see this, the states there. And of course, some of them are repeating. How many times does Colorado appear here? You can imagine using this function. It's quite commonly used countif. Compare Colorado here, or actually we're looking in this range. We're looking at Colorado, comma, and we're looking at the range here, comma, and how often does Colorado appear there? If we're going to be copying this down the column, then we should also make this an absolute reference. Highlight it and hit the function key F4. It's an absolute reference. Colorado appears there 4 times. We'll double click. And doing this little exercise doesn't seem to be taking us very far. We see it again. Ohio's there 3 times. There's Colorado again. It's there 4 times. Now, simple division will send us on the path to possibly understanding the array formula here. What if we simply make this be the denominator? The reciprocal is called 1 slash countif. Do that and recopy these. Now what we have here, this is 1/4 of all the Colorado entries. This is 1/4 of all the Kentucky entries, 1/5 of the California entries, and so on. And if we highlight all these together, what's the total of that? And we see it at the bottom of the screen. It adds up to 4. We've got 4 unique entries. So, as we look at this, and this is looking more like what we had seen earlier, make a slight change here. Put a sum in front of this. And instead of doing this just for these cells, in the small example we've got here, we essentially want to take this comparison here and copy it and make it be repeated here. And this is essentially the same kind of formula that we saw in I2 previously. And we match our parentheses, one more out here. And this time we'll hit Control Shift Enter. And there's the answer. There are 4 unique entries in this list. You don't necessarily need to go into explaining it, but in this case, if you want to make some sense out of an array formula, sometimes you got to do things like that. I've used this many, many times. Here and there I forget it. I tried again. It's great. It comes in handy in a lot of situations. It doesn't give you the list, but it gives you the result. It's a specialized use of an array formula.